Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, which is the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. And I'm joined by my co-host on Tuesdays, Ivorian, Mr. Red United TV is in the
Mm-hmm.
building. What are you telling me, Ivorian? You good?
Room Spice is good, my brother, man. After an extended break, an extended weekend, a long weekend, it's been needed, you know. Thank God as well. We had that bank holiday as well, which was needed as well. But hey, it is what it is. But that also jeopardized a lot of stuff, you know. It stopped us from seeing our team play. But it is what it is, isn't it? But apart from that, I'm good. How are you, Flawless? How was your weekend?
Man, I'm good, man. You already know, man. Keeping things moving over another day, more streams, so can't complain. Like you said, it's a shame what happened with Manchester United not seeing us play. This is the first time in years I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing us play. But I think we'll pick up results and put in performances, and
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing the difference when you like your manager and you rate your manager and you have faith in your manager and you have faith in your football team. Like the contrast is crazy. Like I see the contrast now with Chelsea fans. If you look at Chelsea fans last year when he was on the run in the Champions League before they got knocked out by Real Madrid and he had Tommy Tuchel, the confidence, the arrogance their fans had, and rightfully so. Like I understood it. But the difference now from when they got knocked out by Real Madrid, now Tommy Tuchel's gone and Graham Potter's in charge. They have very, very little faith. Like they're completely in meltdown. You love to see it. Same with Liverpool with Klopp. It's the same thing. Like it's just the contrast. So yeah, man, I'm good, and we'll discuss all things Manchester United as well, people. So please keep all your comments and questions Manchester United related. It is a Q&A on Manchester United's season so far. So get your questions in. You may have a question for me, maybe one for Ivorian, one for the both of us, but get your questions in, and me and Ivorian will obviously give our thoughts on the season as well as Bruno Fernandez's interview, Brandon Williams' comments, how Ten Hag has done so far, how the new signings have done so far, plus more. But before we get into all of that, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Vitally important you do that. Hit that like button. Share this across all the socials as well. And subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. It is road to 5K people. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And you can see it right there. And that's me, Flawless. Retweet and like from Twitter. Share it from the Instagram. And Ivorian's channel, Red United TV, is in the title, people. His link is in the title to his channel. So click on that. Take you straight over there. But yeah, Ivorian, while we wait for the questions to
You
get
know
in.
what? There's one thing
Yeah,
I have
go.
to say is that, like, I'm glad you said that. Like, we looking forward to Manchester United because,
Yeah.
you know, in the past we haven't been looking forward to games, and
No.
now the way our manager has got us playing, well, he hasn't got us playing to the fullest, but we are craving like a crackhead that loves meth,
Rock.
crystal meth, knock on the rock, you know, every morning, knock on the door like, hey man, I want some more of that drug, man. You know,
Yeah.
that's how they got us, you know, knocking on the door like the way KFC make their chicken. You got themes knocking on the door very early in the morning, asking for that chicken. They'll do anything for that chicken. And that's the kind of position that we are in. Like, we'll do anything to watch Manchester United play. And I'm happy. That's where we are right now as Manchester United fans. For Chelsea fans, like you said before, I told you, Flawless. I told you, bro. I'm not impressed, bro, but we'll see what it is. But you continue as we're saying, bro.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we got a lot to get into as well. Let me run up in the chat as well while we wait for more questions to be asked. Daredevil says, "Big up Flawless and everyone else. Love from the USA here. So far, we've done well in the season, especially after the start of the season we had. There's been massive improvements. Facts." He also goes on to say players have improved, such as McTominay, Bruno, Dalot, and Rashford. He also goes on to say Ten Hag has done well. Keep it going up the Red Devils. And he says, big up to Ivorian as well, looking great as always. And James says, you just put a smile on my face with that notification. Big up, ManDem. Hey, love James, man. It's good to have you here. Obviously, this is later than scheduled, but we're going to continue to bring you shows regardless. But where do you want to start, Ivorian? Do you want to start with the Bruno Fernandez interview? Do you want to start there?
Yeah, definitely. Let's start with the Bruno
there.
Fernandez interview because
I actually don't know what he said, so this is news to me, innit? Like, so go on, the floor is yours.
Let me go straight into it, guys. Let me bring up the quotes, bruv. Actually, let me do that or not. Actually, let me just do it here, man. Because it's just long.
Yeah, no stress, man. No stress. While we wait for Ivorian to pull up Bruno Fernandez's quotes, you lot in the comments, give us your thoughts. Like I said, I've not read the interview in full. I've not read it at all. I just seen it pop up on my timeline and people talking about it, but I don't know exactly what he said. But I always say this all the time with footballers, and this ain't at Bruno because I don't know what he said, but do your talking on the pitch. I can say that about Brandon Williams because I seen I seen some of the quotes from his interview, and he said people on social media be criticizing us and talking too much. Do you just do your job on the pitch? And that shuts most people up. Like, it's as simple as that. There's a reason I use Martinez as an example. Doesn't have to come out and say anything on social media. Varane doesn't have to come out and say anything on social media. Dalot doesn't have to come out and say anything on social media. Ten Hag doesn't. The list goes on. If you're performing well and at to a high level, your football's doing the talking. No one can't say anything to Dalot at this moment in time, or a Varane, or a Martinez, or a Malacia. You say, or an Ericsson. What are you going to like? He's performing at a high level, and results reflect that. Performances reflect that. But yeah, go on, Ivorian.
So yeah, we're gonna go this interview bit by bit, segment by segment. But yes, guys, earlier on today, this morning, it was released from the Athletic article. Bruno Fernandez having an interview with the Athletic. A series of questions, but I'm gonna go on the key highlights of his quotes. When Bruno was questioned regarding Ten Hag, Bruno said, first of all, he, as in Erik Ten Hag, has an idea. He has a style. You have to follow his rules. He's strict on that, and I like that. You know, he brought discipline, which is something I think we missed in the past. Wink, wink. You know what he's trying to say right there. Everyone must be on the same page. He also said that regarding his manager. He said, where is it? Damn, there's too much stuff, you know. Let me go straight into it, man. The second part of that interview where he spoke about the manager, Erik Ten Hag, he says that I saw the manager say in a press conference that we do not want to bring players just for the sake of it. We want to bring the right players for what we want to do. It is something the club needs, which again, we've been there before during the transfer window, Flores. We was going crazy saying, sign someone, sign anybody, give me something.
Bring me bodies.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, calm down. We just don't want anybody just to fill up the numbers. We want the right person. But yeah, Flawless, the first thing he said regarding strictness, discipline, and etc., saying that we needed that for some time because that wasn't there. As you can see it as he's digging into the previous management, which could be potentially Ralph Ragnick and also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Hey, it is what it is, and it's rightly so. Manchester United like discipline, Flawless. You know, you can get away with anything. You can get away with murder, you know, without being punished, without your parents looking at you with that side eye saying, if you do that one more time, you know what's going to happen when we get home. You know, because that's been missing a long time ago from Manchester United. No, because players do whatever they want and feel like they can get away with it. We had no guardianship, no authority, no one, you know, taking ownership to mistakes and etc. So, to you, Flores, what's your thoughts on that with Bruno Fernandez? You know, saying that something that we need in a long time, and that's what Erik Ten Hag brings. You know, and on top of that, he has a plan, he has an idea. Technically, saying that previous manager had no plans, no idea, bro.
Any successful team in professional sport needs discipline. Otherwise, people will just run riot. Like, if you don't discipline people at the highest level, at any level, in any team, doing everything, like we're supposed to use. But let me start this again. Yeah, anytime with anything, you need discipline. Otherwise, you'll run riot. I've worked day jobs before. I've worked night jobs. I will push it to the limit of what I can get away with my boss. Until my boss tells me to stop, I'm going to just keep going, just taking absolute liberties. If I've got a half an hour break and I come back 5 minutes late off that break and it's 35 minutes, you know what I'm going to do next? You know what I'm going to do the next day? 40 minutes. If you don't say anything, you know what I'm going to do the next day? 45 minutes. You know, the day after that, I'm going to take an hour. You know what I'm saying? If he still says nothing or she still says nothing, I'm going to do an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Up until the point they go, right, you need to get back on break. Like now, if he or she or my boss, whoever that was, had stopped me at 35, you know what I'm saying, coming back 5 minutes late, next time I'm going to make sure I'm back on time. And I used a funny analogy like that to just showcase what it's like. You need discipline at the highest level. And you also need discipline as well to get the most out of the team. If everyone knows their job and everyone knows their role, everybody's helping each other. That's what it is, because individually, you might think what's best for you, but what you're best at may not be best for the football team. That's the difference. Or just having the two best players on the pitch at the same time, it might not work, because it's all about partnerships, people. It's all about partnership. Like, you could argue, say, for instance, I do believe Martinez and Varane are our two best centre-backs, but let's say Martinez wasn't, and it was Lindelof and Varane who were seen as Manchester United's two best centre-backs, clearly. It's about the partnership. Who is the better partner for Varane? And that is Martinez. And it's like that on the football pitch. So in regards to discipline, we knew these players were doing what they want because we never looked the same. Like, our performance was dependent on the 11 on the pitch. It was very, very, very dependent on the 11 on the pitch. And that goes to show there was no discipline, there was no plan, there was no structure. Shout out to Nuruddin. You know what I'm saying? There was no structure, as he always says. And we're seeing that at the highest level, I keep saying this, of sport, you need structure to be successful. Take whatever team you want. Look at Manchester City. Look at Pep. Prime example. Look at Liverpool with Klopp. Look at just how Bayern Munich are run in general. Drill sergeants, meticulous machines, meticulous to detail. Absolutely. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
No, absolutely. I agree with you because at the end of the day, Bruno is right. You know what he said right there. You know, he said that of course the manager had an idea, and that's the most important thing when a manager walks in. What's your plans? What's your philosophy? You know, how do you play football? You know, and the manager's supposed to answer that, not just tell you that, oh, I can sit here for hours and talk to you about how my plans and my philosophy and etc., and then tell you that you're banned from every press conference that's regarding Manchester United, you know, because you insulted me right there. But it is important to have a plan, you know, especially when you're a top manager at Manchester United. You need to have a plan. You need to have a style. How do you want to play? You know, because that's what makes the difference between great managers and average managers. Great managers have a philosophy, have a way of playing, how they go about things. And it's really important as well. And he highlighted that really well. And I thought, good on you, Bruno, for being honest with you, you know. And the fact that he mentioned that the manager is strict, discipline is needed everywhere you go in life, especially from the household you come from. Discipline has been installed in you, that you have to be respectful to your elders, you know, you have to be respectful to your neighbors and etc. This is how you speak to people. And if you don't do this type of thing, these are the repercussions, you know. And in the world of football sports at the elite level, you have to be disciplined. You can't just sit there and do whatever you want, because then you end up with people saying that, well, the manager picks me week in, week out, so I must be doing something right, you know, with that attitude.
No self-awareness, terrible.
Exactly. With that attitude, you just know the discipline is lacking. And of course, when discipline is there, players are more fearful to make mistakes. Not that they fear the manager, which they should technically do, because there needs to be some element of fear in anything. Even when it comes to parenting, there needs to be some element of fear to your parents, know that, oh, yeah, like if I F up, yeah, my parents will go ham on me. You know, I can tell they're very strict parents. They're strict parents. Just like our manager needs to be strict. It's the most important thing to be successful, you know, without this, like, for example, and you need that father figure. And of course, Ten Hag is that, you know, you've seen kids when they grow up, they're playing football and they see their dad being hard on them. It's for a reason, you know, because discipline is needed. And the dad noticed that my kid needs discipline.
Discipline is needed in anything. Yeah. 100%.
To reach where he needs to, especially if you want to reach the highest of all, you know. And I like what Bruno said there, which is absolutely goddamn true, man. Manchester United have been lacking discipline for God knows how long. You got players who are dancing in the dance room, in the change room when we've lost, you know. And you're just thinking, where is the accountability? Where is the I give a shit about what just happened recently? And with Ten Hag coming, he's installed that, and it's beautiful to see, you know. There's one thing about that, and one thing Bruno said again, we talked about. It's important to just buy the right players. It's not about quantity; it's about quality.
Yeah,
you know, especially when you're at the top of the echelon of the sports. It's all about bringing quality. When you're at the bottom echelon of the sport, like if you're someone like a Norwich, it's all about getting people in. If you're a Nottingham Forest, it's about the quantity, you know. It's not just about the quality, which is the truth. Moving on from that, of course, he's also spoke about his time with Oli. I don't know why they asked, you know, like we've been trying to move
Everyone
on for a very
talking
long
about
time.
Oli. Sorry to come up, everybody. Pogba's mentioned it. Martial's mentioned it. Rashford's mentioned it. Now you got Bruno mentioning it. Very interesting. You know?
I've said it before. Like Oli is like the stain, the coffee that dropped on your white, let's say, luxurious rug. You know, your cashmere rug. That stain
I
hurts,
said
bro.
cashmere.
Yeah. If you're African, imagine having palm oil stain on your white t-shirt. That is oil, and it's hard to get rid of. So it will be there, Flawless, for a very long time. That stain will be hurting us for a very long time. We're gonna see that stain regardless, bro. But yeah, Bruno speaking about Oli, he said that earlier on, my agent, you don't need to worry because anytime I bring you to a club, it will be a dream club for you. He knew that the dream club was Manchester United. Oli was a big part of that because he actually went to see my games, but he didn't know what to do with him. Yeah. On my first day at Manchester United, he social said to me, just be yourself. He said also, I know what you are capable of what with the ball, but I also want you to be a leader, and you have to bring at Sporting. You have to bring the leadership that you had at Sporting to Manchester United. I don't think the courts were done really well, composed well. He still sends me some messages and says congratulations for certain things. He is someone that I want to remain in touch with, and I said that to him before he left the club. And one thing I have to do is laugh at that last section. Like, bro, Oli got on social, bro. You got sacked a long time ago, bro. You know me, when I leave a job, I lie to people saying that, yeah, I'll keep in touch. Oh yeah, I'll come about. When I leave, I'm gone. Like it's done. Ain't no chapter, but Oli's out here. Please be that friend from the ex-work colleague that will text you and say, yo, when are you gonna come over? Like, when are you gonna come and say hello? Like he'll call you and see how you're doing. Like, big man, we don't want you to be contacting us.
We don't care, man. We don't care.
You're the reason why towards the end of your tenure, people started saying that I'm shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People started calling Bruno a fraud.
Point.
You know, Fernandez got mad and started calling him. See, I told you he's a fraud. You know, look at his
numbers.
Yeah,
I lost my head. Yeah. I lost my head. Yeah, I did.
Like, Oli, like, let it go. You've been sacked. Move on, bro. Stop texting people. You know, because if you text me, I'm at light skin and respond to you in 2 days' time with one answer, one word.
Taking liberties. Black Diamond said he admitted Fletcher convinced him to sign a 5-year extension. Fletcher convinced who? Bruno. Is that what you're saying, Black Diamond? Possibly. Let me know. Big up UHC as well from India. Yeah, man. I said big up from India. That's cold. Fardeen here says, yo, I saw your stream yesterday with Bainsy. Shout out Bainsy. Regarding number 9, Haaland to score goals, but be honest, he has improved their team more. Haaland or Jesus or City better than last season. Fardeen, why are you asking this question? I'm confused. Jog my memory. What did me and Bainsy talk about in regards to, did we compare Haaland and Jesus? What was we talking about? Let me know, because this is just, I'm lost at this question. Like, I don't understand, like, why we're comparing Jesus to Haaland. Are you an Arsenal fan, Fardeen? Like, I don't get it. I'm lost. He's moving like that ex that couldn't let it go. Big up to Jez. Yeah, man, you just gotta let it go, man. Frozen, man. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like Elsa or whatever her name is. Whatever that annoying. Oh, she's so annoying. That is annoying. That Frozen is annoying. That franchise is annoying. I say all this because my niece loves it, and I just be hearing it, singing it all the time, singing it. Like, go back to the Brentford watch along, people, when we were getting slapped 4-0, and my niece is just singing "Let It Go" in the background. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, go back to that watch along. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, and of course, back to Bruno. Of course, he said quite a few things. He spoke about diving and etc. He spoke on. Let me get back to it. He said something about Nicolas Pepe. I had some bad games, and everyone was saying he still has to adapt to the Premier League. But when Bruno was having a bad game, it was just because he was moaning or not focused on the game. What's your thoughts on that, Flawless?
Say that again. Sorry, I was just reading one of the comments.
Yeah, he said again. Nicolas Pepe, he was speaking on probably people moaning, etc. Had some bad games, and everyone was saying he still has to adapt. Similar to what people were saying about Oli. He's still learning after 10 years in a row.
Yeah, 10 years in a row.
I can't believe you have an L plate for 10 years on your car and you're still saying that. You know. That's in hindsight, if you think about it. He's been in a job for 10 years. He's managed 3 clubs, Molde, Cardiff, Molde, Manchester United, and they're still saying he's got an L plate, you know? You can't be riding around in your wagon with an L plate for 10 years. Eventually, you'll get pulled up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to it. It says that he has to adapt to the Premier League. But when Bruno was having a bad game, it was just because he was moaning and not focused on the game.
But that was part of the reason why you was having your those things stand out more when you're having a poor game. Nobody's talking about you complaining or moaning if you're bagging a hat trick. Let's use Haaland as an example because Fardine mentioned him. If Haaland was complaining even more than Bruno was during that time, because of the amount of goals he's scoring and the impact he's having on the team and the impact he's having on games, nobody would care. All of these things are just side things. And this comes back to what I said about Brandon Williams as well. Perform on the pitch. The reason why people were talking about you moaning and complaining to the ref is because you weren't performing at a high level. That's legit what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, that's legit what it is. And that's why people had an issue with it. I have an issue with it. It was a time we was playing, I think it was last season. It was late last season. I can't remember the game. And we were down 1-0. Bruno gets touched slightly, goes down, is lying on the floor. Yo, get up, man. We got a game to win. I'd understand it if it roles are reversed. If United are winning and he gets a slight touch and he goes down to break up the game, that's very clever. That's smart game management. I'm all for that. But we are losing the game. Get up off the floor. And that's where it is in terms of the moaning and the complaining and the whining. I don't particularly care about that because I don't think it really takes away from your game. I don't really think it adds to your game, to be honest. Depends what you're talking. How about you just perform better? That's all I care about. All of this stuff is just side shit. That means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Perform to a better level, and we're going to let all that other stuff slide. Now, if you are trying to get players booked, that's smart. That's extremely clever, trying to get players. I want my players to try and get other players booked. Of course, throw them off their game. Try get other players sent off. This is smart. Like the foul that everyone was ridiculing McTominay over, you know, when he span around Jesus and he brought him down. People like, what? No, that's a smart tackle. McTominay took a poor touch. Jesus was about to break. Bring him down. That's being clever. That's master of the dark arts, being smart. Casemiro is one of the best at that. I've seen him do that countless times for Real Madrid. And if you look at other teams, they give away smart free kicks. Like there's a such thing as, that's a good free kick to give away. That's a good yellow card to take. And these things, and that ties into it. So with Bruno trying to gain advantage, yes, I'm all for that. Gain every advantage you can, legally or illegally. But if you're doing it illegally, make sure you don't get caught. That's my thing is. We got a football match to win. So if you can get someone booked and thrown off their game, I'm all for that. If it helps Manchester United win. And it shows you down for the cause. You're trying to go above and beyond. I'm with that. Absolutely. I'm with that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on
Absolutely. It's very important to try and get into your opponent's mind, especially, you know, if you want to have an advantage and win it. You know, with Bruno, what he said there, you know, which I can understand certain things, but certain things don't really make sense. You know, you can't just compare yourself saying, "Oh, Nicolas Pepe, when he has a bad game, he's still trying to adapt." But Bruno, you're in the same situation as Nicolas Pepe because Nicolas Pepe came a season before and you came the season after, so you're still trying to adapt, man. But again, I'm with the fact that you can moan when it's needed to moan, but not when you're on the floor and the game is still continue. Get up at the end of the day. There's a famous saying that, you know, you stop playing until the fat lady sings, you know, and that whistle hasn't been blown. So you get up. And I hate it, Flawless, with a passion when a player gets fouled and he's rolling on the floor, looking left, right, and center to see if the referee notices him when he could have continued. You don't need to be diving. You don't need to be going on the floor, because what could you have done if you prevented yourself from going to the floor? You may have ended up scoring. Yeah. And that's one thing I don't like, you know. Like when you have the opportunity to score and you end up going to the floor and you're moaning and all that kind of stuff. And these times the opposition get the ball, continue to play, and we end up conceding a goal. It just shows that you lack discipline and you lack professionalism. And I hate stuff like that. But that's what he said. But again, with Bruno as well, he said one thing that will surprise you regarding the referee. He said one of the referees said to me, "Bruno, all the time you're whining. You're such a good boy. But when you are losing or drawing, oh my God, you are a pain in my ass." And he said he wants to be like this. So all the time we are winning, he's such a good guy, you know. Yeah. But the moment we are losing or drawing, oh my God, he's a pain in the referee's ass. Can you imagine, you know? And he said he wants to be like that, which is fine. But do that, you know, when the ball is with us, you know, moan and be a pain in the ass to the referee when you want to get your free kicks, which I can encourage, because at the end of the day, what you want to do, you want to manipulate the referee to your advantage. You know, it happens in football. You want to manipulate the referee so you can get an advantage and win, which I'm for it, but not when it doesn't really suit us. You know, when we want to go and get the equalizer, you know, or get the winning goal, save that when we're winning.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Legit, like, yeah, he has the will to win. I just don't like the way he goes around it. He goes about it the whole time. But I like that. Yes, you should be a pain. Losing should bother you. Yes, it should affect your behavior. It should affect your attitude. But when we're losing, whether that's in game or losing matches, you should do your best to turn that around. Like I said, all of this is just extra stuff because I don't think Bruno's good enough. That's what it is. So I don't really expect a whole lot from him, even though he has been better this season. 110% he has been better, but that ties into him picking up the ball higher up the pitch. Also ties in having Ericsson on the pitch. Also ties into having a better platform because of the system that Ten Hag's implemented too. So I gotta give him plaudits for that. 110% gotta give him plaudits. But yeah, like I say, this is just all meaningless to me, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I just perform.
Just perform.
Just perform.
That's all we need. Just
That's
the
it, man.
performance.
That's it.
Moving on from Bruno, we're moving on to another scrub that's been told to move to the under 23 changing room a long time ago. A player that probably didn't want to leave Manchester United because he still wants to fight for his position, which is Brandon Williams. You know, as you guys know, famously, Brandon Williams not long ago on a failed loan to Norwich as well. On his IG, posted up, "Fuck Norwich," and then removed it later on, and then got disciplined for it. So I just want to start with that, so you know exactly the type of character Brandon Williams is. Brandon Williams, of course, guys, take no notice to interviews because you need to understand that when it comes to interviews, they already tell you what the questions will be and how you need to answer them, and what not to say and what to say. So, of course, take with a pinch of salt that, of course, this guy is a teammate of a player, and he has no choice but to back his own. So Brandon Williams being interviewed again by Sportsman, saying regarding Harry Maguire, he said, "People don't listen to the outside world. Harry Maguire will go into the training 100% every day. Harry will give whether he's starting the game, whether he's not starting the game, 100%. If you're doing well in training, who some little idiots sat on Twitter that going to tell you that you shouldn't be starting the game. Who is he? I genuinely don't get it. Maguire already has a great career. He's on a stepping stone and he'll get to the top where he wants to be. He already is at the top. He's the captain of Manchester United. I dream to be that one day, and he's already done it." That is Brandon Williams.
Oh, okay, so he was defending Maguire.
Yeah, he was defending Maguire, but like I said before, take it as a pinch of salt because at the end of the day, you know, you are being interviewed about your teammate. You don't go on there and slander your teammate unlike your Roy Keane. You just don't do that. You act like a professional and you back your man. So you will never see Flawless go on an interview and they speak about me and he's going to be saying, "Yeah, that Ivorian guy's a fuck boy."
yeah. That's it. That's true. 100%. Now you right. That's not gonna happen. Yeah. I hear that. In regards to, I'll let you go first.
No, absolutely. Because first of all,
I know you got a lot to say on this, and I'm
Brandon
still taking in what he said.
Yeah, again, let me repeat. The first thing he said, people don't listen to the outside world, which is a lie.
That's a lie.
It is a lie.
It's a lie.
Everyone listens to the outside world, you know, especially when you got X amount of followers, especially when you're a celebrity and you're getting X amount of notification, whether you turn it on, you don't turn it on. You look at it, especially when you're a professional footballer and you're a sportsman. You want to see what the people are saying about you as a player, you as a boxer, whichever sport you're in. You want to see if people see you as a good player or a shit player. And it matters to you because it affects your confidence in your ego. And your ego will always tell you that. Check what the people are saying to see if you're really good at what you do because you want to stroke your ego. So I don't believe that Harry Maguire has never gone on Twitter and ended up crying to his wife saying that this man think I'm shit. You know, I truly do believe that he has gone. He knows what we're saying. He knows it. You know, he just chooses to say, "Oh yeah, I don't read what the media says." It's a lie. We all do. Yeah. No manager says I don't read the newspaper. You're lying. You're a human being. Human beings read the newspaper.
Of course you read it. It's about do you take it in and do you respond to it? That's where the insecurities lie. And he's saying we don't listen to the outside world. The reason why Maguire is being criticized on social media is because Maguire is not performing to a high enough level. If Maguire was performing to a high enough level, he would be starting right now. He wouldn't be holding bench. He wouldn't be getting criticized on social media. His performances haven't been up to scratch. And on top of that, when you talk about the interview that he did, there was no accountability. There was never no, and whether it's that interview or it's after any game, not once, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, as Harry Maguire ever said, that wasn't good enough. We need to do better. I need to do better. There's never no accountability from him or the team when he's talking about the team. Even Brandon Williams not here. I don't know if that's the full interview, but I guarantee you Brandon Williams not during that didn't say Maguire's performances do need to step up, or even say Maguire knows his performances haven't been good and they need to step up. Zero accountability. So as soon as somebody criticizes them, it seems like the end of the world. Ryan does it all the time. You don't know Ryan on this channel and that. As soon as someone criticizes a player he likes, or you're being disrespectful, you're hating on him. No, I'm just pointing out the obvious. Where is the, and then when I ask him, where's the criticism, when we had the whole Neymar debate, he couldn't tell me. But I'm like, you just jumped in your feelings because I said Neymar's never been the best player in the world. He's never been the best player in Europe at any point during his career. He might have been one in general consensus. He's never been. He's never been a Ronaldo or Messi in terms of level and where they're viewed at. But back to my point is, that's what irks people. If Harry Maguire turned around and did an interview and said, my performances haven't been good enough since I've been at Manchester United. I understand why fans of the club are upset. I'm aiming to do better. I'm training hard. If he said that, a lot of people will get off his back. A lot of people. Well, he'll turn around and say, well, Manchester United managers pick me. England manager picks me. I'm captain of Manchester United. I must be good. It's that being comfortable, complacency. And it shows in his game. It shows in his game. And now he's been dropped. What's going on? Accountability, people, key. Accountability is absolutely, absolutely key in life. You need to be self-aware. It's an extremely underrated skill. Is being self-aware, especially in your profession. But in life, you need that. Be self-aware. 100%.
Self-awareness is key as well. You need to know exactly who you are and what you are and how good you are as well. You know, be honest with yourself and be truthful. Because if you keep lying to yourself, you're going to end up crying.
You're never
but back to that interview, one thing that got me spinned off with what Brandon Williams said. He said he already had a great career, which that's the first line he said. I had to disagree. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Who had a great career?
He
Maguire
already had a great career. Well, his career involved being relegated at times, which we're not going to fault him because he wasn't the main man when he was at Hull. Had a couple of games, but he's experienced
two out of the four. I think he was involved in.
But he experienced some relegations. You know, with not a great career. I can understand he had a great career where he come from, I believe, League One, worked his way to the Championship, and got to the Premier League. That's something you can be proud of. However, as a Manchester United fan, I disagree. You can't be proud of that, to be honest with you. Yes, you reached the top echelon of football at top club, but are you performing to the highest level for you to be saying that he's had a great career? No, he hasn't. You know, it's been a lie. He's on a stepping stone, and he'll get to the top where he wants to be. You see, to get to the top to where you have to be, you have to perform in, week out, and be good at your job. And the problem is that Harry Maguire doesn't perform week in, week out, or he's good at his job, or performs to the certain standard that we need to see from a Manchester United defender, that especially that costs 80 million. That's one thing I do not agree with him. And one thing he also said, he's already at the top. In my opinion, he's at the top of the career in terms of club where he wants to be. But in terms of his performance, like I said earlier on, he's not at the top because there's so many defenders who's way better than him, even at a lesser club. So he's not at the top of his game. Let's be real, you know. And of course, Brandon Williams, you can dream of being Manchester United captain one day because that's always going to be. It's only going to be a dream because I see Brandon Williams getting sacked. I mean, getting rid of at the end of the season because he's surplus to requirements, so he can continue dreaming to be Manchester United captain because he will never be.
We all got dreams, man. We all got dreams.
We can't all fulfill our dreams, you know. I've dreamt a lot of things. I've never seen it come to reality. So it's part of life, Brandon Williams. But that doesn't sit right with me, you know. With Brandon Williams, again, his quotes there, guys, I said, take it with a pinch of salt, you know. He's just here trying to back his man, Harry Maguire, because Harry Maguire needs as much PR as he can to prove to us that he's good enough, you know. The amount of time they said that Barcelona were interested in him, he's like, we all know that's a lie. You know, they're just trying to tell us that Harry Maguire must be a good defender because Chelsea and Barcelona of all, you know, with Barcelona's type of player profile they want, he must be good.
Yeah.
But no,
Sure.
it's all lies.
Yep. It's all lies, man. It's all
That
goddamn
is what
lies.
it is, man.
It's all lies. Yes, I like Black Diamond said they like the stream, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Support greatly appreciated. Make sure you do. Is that all? Is there more quotes or is that everything?
No, that's just the important.
That's the
man.
ones that they picked out. Fair enough.
Yes.
You lot continue to get your questions in about the season so far. RJ says, I would welcome Ivan Toney or even someone like Tammy Abraham at Old Trafford. Ivan Toney, yes. Tammy Abraham, no.
Not yet,
Ivan
man.
Toney, I'm for. Not Tammy Abraham. Nah, I'm good. Let him go back to Chelsea. Bainesy was saying to have poachers at number 9. Yeah, I think Bainesy was just talking about having strikers who score goals, which is a mix. But back to your original point, everybody, including Jesus himself, will take Haaland over Jesus. So I don't understand the overall point. It's not, I don't get it. If you have an option to sign Jesus or sign Haaland, everybody is taking Haaland. Absolutely. Jesus himself is taking Haaland over himself. Right, let's call a spade a spade.
That's why he took himself out of Man City, so Haaland can start. He said, you know what? I prefer Haaland to start, so let me leave, you know, and pave the way for other people. That's exactly what happened. He went to Arsenal. That's how much he respects Man City and his position and his ability that he knows he can't start. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Like I would never pick. No, there's an interesting thing with Tammy Abraham, you know. No, I liked him when he was at Swansea trying to make his way. Then he went to Aston Villa and then at Chelsea as well. He did all right for his first season with Frank Lampard. You know, I think he's a good striker. You know, he's got a lot to offer. It's just that, you know, in terms of the level he's supposed to be at, he's not there yet. And with a few more seasons at Roma, scoring 20 goals, 25 goals, one day you never know. He'll be Premier League ready. So
he's performing. He's not having a good season so far. This season, I've seen some of the stats, and it's saying he's had second most shots, and he's only scored like 3 goals or something like that. It's saying crazy.
But he did well. He did well last season for Roma, scoring 20 amount of goals.
Yeah, he won the Conference League and that. Yeah. He did still, but
it was the fans loved him as well, especially that we had one fans who dressed like him as well. Even put the black spray on him so he can
see that. Say that's too far, man. We're doing up blackface.
Yeah, ManDem blackface for Tammy Abraham, bro.
Yeah.
Apparently they see it as they love him, but obviously when a black man sees that, we see it as completely different. But hey, you know,
blackface is not the way forward, people.
It's not the way forward, but you know, they're just uneducated down there. They see it as a source of you know, trying to appreciate Tammy Abraham by dressing and looking like him. But that's gone too far. You can have the same hairstyle as him, but the moment you stop putting blackface on your things, skin and everything, you're taking it too far. You know what I mean? The most you can do is have his hairstyle, wear the Tammy Abraham kit, shorts, the socks, the same boots as he wants. But the moment you start changing the color of your white skin to brown, you're doing too much, yo. You're out here asking for an ass whooping.
Doing way too much. James says we still haven't heard anything from Martial. If he's not back for City, his fitness will be concerned, as he would have played 45 minutes in over 2 months. He's even more likely to get injured again. Yeah, definitely a concern. And this was my biggest issue going into the season, was Martial's availability. It's not his ability, it's his availability, because availability is an ability. So it's concerning if he's not back for City, because we are going to need him. However, I expect him to be back for Omonia. I believe, I'm not sure if we're away or at home, because we play Omonia the following week after City.
I keep laughing when you say that, bro.
What, Omonia?
All I hear is pneumonia, fam. Pneumonia.
Omonia, innit? That's what they're called. Are they Cypriot? Are they Cypriot?
You asking me that? I
think they're Cypriot. Someone in the chat will know. But yeah, Omonia. So we play them twice in 2 weeks once, because they're the back-to-back games in the Europa League. So Martial, if he's back, I expect him to play minutes in both of those games, and then slowly start getting reintroduced to the Premier League games as well, because he's going to be needed, because players are going to get injured. We already seen Rashford get injured. Ronaldo's not it. So that space is there. That space is there. And this is why we're going to get into this as well. Reports came out, how true this is, I don't know, about Ten Hag wanting to sign players in January, which I'm all for, because our squad is thin in terms of quality. Our squad is thin, people. We need more quality. We are a couple of injuries away from being really, really in trouble. Like all teams, though. Probably minus Manchester City. The rest of the big six are like that, including us. We've already seen it happen to Liverpool. We've seen it happen to Chelsea. Spurs are in that boat. Arsenal are in that boat. And so are we. So injuries will be key. But I'm still hoping, I should say, that we go into the January window. And because the World Cup's right before it, there's going to be so many players on show who put themselves in the shop window. So we're going to see. Plus, Ten Hag will have his ideas. We've seen it already. Look at what he's done this summer, just gone. What's your thoughts on that, Ivorian?
And first of all, what you just said there, yes, it's true. Ten Hag has spent the last 2 weeks strategizing and having meetings with the board, John Murtough, and I'm not too sure about Darren Fletcher because he's become a coach these days. But yes, with Joel Glazer and Richard Arnold strategizing about next summer, what the club needs in terms of upstairs, people that need to be put in place, staff, and of course the January transfer window. Well, from what I've read is that there's been a bit of a clash in terms of bringing players in January, where John Murtough and Richard Arnold and Joe Glazer are more focused on the summer signings instead of addressing the January transfer windows, because Ten Hag has already identified areas that we need to improve on. And what I have to say is that if they're clashing with Ten Hag, they're all fools, because none of them know what they're doing in that job. They're all new to that role. Ten Hag has been a manager for 10 years. Richard Arnold, you've been a CEO for 6 months. Richard Arnold, you've been a director of football for 1 year. You know, and Joe Glazer, you don't know football. So what the hell? You see what I'm saying? What the hell are you clashing with? You know, you've got inept people challenging someone that's competent, someone that's worked with elite director of footballers, elite CEOs that know what they're doing. For example, Edwin van der Sar, Mark Overmars, and etc. So he's worked with people that know. So he knows what he's looking for in terms of the response, the level of conversation he needs to have with his director of football, the level of conversation he needs to have with his CEO. And when you're sitting with your CEO and you're thinking, "Bro, I know way more than my CEO, bro," I'm kind of worried. You know, we shouldn't be experiencing that at Manchester United. He should be experiencing people that know their job. You know, and you heard that Ten Hag couldn't even trust the scouting system because they didn't even have players for him. You know, he thought he'll walk in there and he'd be like, "Oh, what you got for man?" Like they had nothing. You don't know nothing, no players, no what. You're gonna go on my suggestions? You never expected that. Going to Manchester United, you're supposed to have like, all right, Ten Hag, we know you want this, but have a look at these players as well that we've been scouting. They couldn't do that. We showed that he couldn't trust them, so he had to go with what he knows. Yeah. So there's clearly there is work to be done, and these players, these owners, and these board members need to listen to Eric Ten Hag, because of course we all can see that we need to sign in January. How can you disagree? We need to feel there's positions that we need to strengthen.
Yes,
and there's players that we need to move on in January, i.e. Phil Jones. The man's still here.
He's not in the squad. He's not in the squad though.
I don't care. He's still in the building. Still in the vicinity, bro. You can smell his aroma, bro. You know? You walk into Old Trafford, and I can smell Phil Jones. What's he still doing here? You know? There's players that have been told to, you can leave, you know. I remember Saka. How do you find the training? If you don't like it, you can leave, you know, like I said, like 3 months ago, you know, it's like that need to leave, you know. Every week, Ten Hag is going to Aaron Wan-Bissaka and asking him, you know, how do you find the training this week, you know? Yeah. If you don't like it, you can leave, you know. You know, you get always reminded that you can leave. The door is always open for you to leave, by the way. Because there's certain players that you need to tell them week in, every week. You know you can leave, by the way, Phil Jones, you know. You're surplus to requirement. You don't have to put it to the under 23 changing room for a reason. You know, so you can leave. That needs to be addressed in January, Flawless, honestly speaking. Because there's
Phil Jones, Wan-Bissaka's, yes. I'm talking more incomings as well. We do need
incomings, absolutely.
We definitely need additions to the team, 100%.
But the way Manchester United work, I don't know if the money is there, because clearly we've overspent. Where did the money come from, Anthony?
The money's there. The money's there.
Well, the money's always been there, but it's on hold. It's in prison because of Joe Glazer.
But he was talking like he was. I see reports. Obviously, this is all reports, people, so nothing concrete. I've seen like 70 million. You can get a couple of players for that.
Yeah, I've read saying
go get 4 or 5 players. Yeah, 70, 80 million. If you recruit correctly, you can get minimum you can get 3 players for that.
Absolutely.
These were the same conversations we was having before the start of the transfer window, the last one. Or how much Manchester United have got. We don't have the money. We can't spend 250, 300 million. The money is there, people.
bro.
The money is there.
Manchester
Manchester United
United
generate
annually.
enough. The money is
They
there.
generate annually around 500, 600 million, almost 7, more than Real Madrid, more than Barcelona these days, you know. So they compete with that type of high revenue and making records as well. So the money is there. It's about who's controlling the money and who's allowing the money to be spent. And of course, nothing gets done without Joe Glazer's sanctioning a move. So we can clearly see the money is generating and it's there. It's just, where is it going? You know, where's the money going?
Absolutely.
So we'll see. But I agree with you. Like, January incomings needs to come. But I know my club, you know, they're tight as well, especially with January signings. And my concern more is like, we need to get rid of these players, you know, free up the wage bill, free up the positions, because there's no point signing players, although we understand that certain players have been demoted and moved to the under 23s to leave some space. But then again, they were demoted to accommodate the people that came in, like the Christian Eriksen and Terrell Malacia and Anthony, because the dressing room was just full. So more importantly, I've said the outgoing is important first. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of the players that we don't want, and then towards January transfer, you got 1 month, which again is a big ask because Manchester United cannot multitask. You know, they're the definition of what women say as men. Men can't multitask. And, you know, as you can see, the first 3 letters is Manchester United. So these mans can't multitask. Do you feel me? So, yeah, I'm more concerned on the outgoings. Incomings will always come as long as we get the right players. And 80 million, as you said, Flawless, that can bring you a new right back for 30 million, you know, a gem from somewhere in Brazil.
We need a striker.
You know?
We need a striker. We'll get to the comments as well. We need a striker.
But Flawless, one thing I have to say about the striker, are you okay settling for what we have now so we can sign someone, a main striker, priority, top range, you know, our number 1 priority striker, which I believe that will cost us money, like someone like we've noticed Victor Osimhen that's been linked with Manchester United, which Napoli valuing for 100 million.
Because we're short anyway. We need 2 strikers regardless. You could argue we need 3. Yeah. Because Rashford's not really a striker, he's a wide player. Ronaldo will leave either in January or in the summer. We'll get onto that. Martial can't stay fit. That's 3 spots right there. We need a main striker, we need a backup, and then we need a backup to the backup. So we need to get that striker in right now in January. We desperately need one.
The January transfer, that's the thing. Are you looking for quality or just the quantity to be added? Because if we have 80 million, where are we going to get a quality striker for 30 or 40 million?
If we scout correctly,
that a top team is willing to let go in January.
That's why we need to scout correctly. If we scout correctly, we'll find one. 110%. There's players out there that for 40 million, if we go to sides who are not financially, they're not juggernauts, we can go and find one. I'm not saying go to Ajax. I'm saying go to a Europa League side.
Like I said before, there's probably a striker chilling in Sao Paulo, scoring 50 goals.
You could easily go South America. You could go North America. You could go Eastern Europe. You could go Southern Europe. You could go Asia. The list goes on. Go and locate and find one. You could go to the African continent. Go find one. We have scouts. I reckon if they gave me and you a budget and was like, these are the strikers that we're looking for, me and you could go. Yeah, we'd party a lot. But me and you could go and find 100% we party a lot. Me and you could go and identify multiple strikers that we need strikers that fit this. This is the profile we're looking. Flawless Ivorian, you lot go to South America and go find this. Guarantee we come back with a long list. Guaranteed. Sit down, watch football and identify, of course. And that's us without any prior knowledge to scouting. So when you take people who are professional and this is their livelihood and they've been doing this for 10 plus years, go find them, man. The scouts out there. 100%.
Absolutely, I'm with you on that, bro.
You can't go La Liga and find or Serie A or something and go find a striker. Not necessarily the top end. I'm talking the bottom end. Talking the bottom end of the league. Like, come on, man. Of course you can. Just because they're not. I said this all during the summer. Just because they weren't obvious signings to us. You know how you know this? Malacia wasn't an obvious signing to us.
Absolutely.
Martinez wasn't an obvious signing to us. Anthony wasn't an obvious signing to us. These were 3 players before Ten Hag stepped through the door were never linked with us.
And guess what, Flawless? In history, our obvious signings, you know, were Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka,
and yes.
And how did those obvious signings turn out to be?
My point. Obvious signings don't necessarily work out, but people think like Ivan Toney, for instance, who I would love to see Manchester United sign, would be an obvious signing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, the Jez, you said it best, man. Telling Flawless to scout in Jamaica. I'm saying for players and not party, LOL. Like we'd party, but we'd also find the players. Go watch some Caribbean football. You know what I'm saying? And go locate some strikers. Would be party, absolutely. But yo, and Jez even saying it here. This is what I do when I want to sell guys in FN, send them to the under 23s to force them to take less wages elsewhere. Facts, man. I've done it when I used to play FM. Man can go sit in the reserves. Go sit in the reserves. You'll soon want to bounce. 100%. Black Diamond saying report to stating Avram Glazer had an online meeting with Ten Hag and told man no for January. Yeah, man, we'll see.
Says he has spoke on that, but we'll see what happens in it. You can't just be telling no for no reason. If Avram Glazer or Joe Glazer actually watch the sport, they will see it, you know. But again,
one sec, fam. Keep going. 1 sec.
Go on.
1 sec.
Sorry, yeah. But again, you just never know with these guys, you know. It all depends on who's advising them, you know. And whether they're really genuine into the sport. And I want to truly believe they have interest in the business that their father invested in, because that's what I would do if I was a businessman. If I'm a businessman and I've made investment into a business, I will take interest in whatever I invest in. I don't just sit there blindly and ask for the profits and my dividends, you know. I look into it as well and I'd be like, yo, last year's dividends was less than this year's dividends. You know, if all you care about is dividends, then if you're a Glazer, you're gonna ask them, yo, Ed, last year's dividends was less than this year's dividends. What's going on? Can you explain to me? And then Ed will probably have to tell you the truth. Oh, we didn't perform well last season. Why? But they don't care. But if they did, they would. Me as a businessman, I'm always going to be interested in everything that I invest in. I want to be at the forefront, you know. I want regular meetings, you know. I want to know why we're not doing well. Why are we not performing? Even if I don't know nothing about the sports, I want to get to know the sport, especially. So just like you see with Todd, whatever his name is, that American Todd Broadley or Todd B. It's Todd that wants to introduce an MLS or whatever, an all-star games. Yeah, him. Yeah, he's showing interest. That he's interested in the investment that he made. Although he knows nothing about the sport, he wants to get to know the sport. You know, he wants to build a structure that everyone's in sync. The fact that he sat touch shows because based on the fact that not everyone was with and in sync, in unity with the project that they want to do. There was clashes in difference. So that shows a man that yes, I don't know the sport, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to get involved, you know. I want to be in the forefront, you know. I've made this massive investment, but I want it to be successful. I want it to work out. I want Chelsea to be the best that they could be in the sports. But our scrubbish owners, it is what it is.
If they did say that, because Black Diamond saying they said money's reserved for the summer 2023. If that's
what they say that every year, bro.
Yeah.
Didn't we not see an interview of someone that said the money's there necessarily if required? That was by Joe Glazer while he's walking quick while he's being interviewed. You know?
Wow. What I would say to that is if that is the case, let's say hypothetically that is true and they don't want us to spend, Ten Hag just has to deal with what he's got to deal with. You got to look at loan signings and deal with the squad you have and get the most out of it. Maybe promote a couple youngsters. Maybe try that. It's not ideal though.
But do you know what? Yeah, with Ten Hag, I see with him. I don't think he's gonna take it as it's supposed to be. He's not gonna bend over and say, "Yeah, what do you man prefer, lube or Vaseline? What's your preference? Yeah, for you to give it to me." Nah, B. Easy over way around. He bends you over and gives it to you and be like, because I've seen him. I feel like he challenges a lot. Yes, Flores, you can laugh as much as you want, but people get my analogy exactly.
That's just a wild analogy.
But they get what I'm saying. As long as it reaches your brain and you get it and understand it and process it well, you get what I'm saying. But he seems like the type of guy that will go up to management and challenge them and say, "This is what I want. This is what I sign up for." You know, and I will fucking walk if you don't give me what I want. And that's what took place. As soon as we lost those 2 games, the fans went wild. I reckon the manager went up to him and said, "You're trying to shame me in front of the managers, trying to make me look like Ollie." Nah, I will not go out like Ollie. You either bring in the investment and do what I need to do, or I walk. It seems like that guy doesn't take shit.
He does challenge. Yeah,
he will challenge.
Even if they say no, he'll challenge.
He'll challenge
110%. He
to the extent that they're like, you know what, I'm fucking fed up with this guy. You know what? Here, take what
Take
you
some
need.
money.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, situation where you ask your mom and dad certain thing, you ask them to the extent that they get so annoyed. You know what? I've had enough. Let's go to the shop and buy a PlayStation.
Just to shut you up.
Yeah, just to shut you up. So I see it with him. He's a meticulous man. He's a perfectionist, you know, and he has to do things the way he needs to. And the board knows it as well. And I'm very sure they know it. There's been articles that saying they've been impressed with the way he works, you know, and they're even learning as well with him. So yeah. Aaron Blazer can say no, but come January, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. Who knows?
Yeah,
and like we've seen how when the fans put pressure on them, they'll free up the money. If that happens, say we are in a little bit of a trouble going into January. Let's say after December. I'm saying like we didn't really have a good run into the World Cup, and then even at the end after the World Cup, and we start back, the run's not good, and injuries are piling up, and players aren't playing well, and we can clearly see what areas we need to improve on. And there is some protests. I can see them freeing up the money because we're only in September. So a lot can change. You got October, November, you got 3-4 months. A lot can change in that time. A lot can change in that time.
And the Glazers, they know themselves that they need to do whatever they need to do to appease the fan because they know that the fans want them out. They know that the fans are aware that someone else wants to buy the club, you know, and there's a possibility that the club could be sold. So they know they hate it to the max now. You know, they know it. That's why they've been doing whatever they need to do to appease the fan, sign the players, and etc. Because they know that we want them out. So a lot can change in the next 3 months. You never know. There could be a new ownership in the next 3 months, which I'm praying. But of course, with Manchester United, it's hard to sell. You know, unless you meet the figures what they want, unless you give them a ridiculous amount of money that they've never expected to receive to make them say, yeah, we need to sell right now. But it is what it is, man. We'll see. 3 months time, we shall see. But I have the feeling that we will sign, even if it's just one or two players.
I can see us getting 1 or 2 players because I didn't expect. We overdid my expectation in the summer.
We signed 6 players.
Doing that again. Was it 6 we signed?
Was it not 6 or was it 5?
I think it was 5. We got Martinez, we got Malacio, we got Ericsson, we got Casemiro, we got Anthony.
You forgot the goalkeeper, the Bravka. That's
the Bravka.
We never expected us to even get 3. We downplayed it like we're not gonna get 5.
I think I said 3 minimum, max 4. I think that's what I said.
The way our club operates, nah.
We're
lucky if you get 1 or 2. You know, you get me. We were all thought it was just Malacia and that's it.
I remember we was talking on shows and be like, right, if we get 3, that's our bonus. So to get 6. Very good. I forgot about the goalkeeper. I forgot, which again could be shrewd business. Like, because we did need a number 2 people. We did need one. How good the Bravka is, I don't know, but we'll find out because he's gonna play. He will play in some of these Europa League games. Absolutely, he will. So yeah, and that's how I look at it in January is because before the conversation was the same. The money ain't gonna be freed up by the Glazers. We're not gonna sign enough players. We had a great window. Could it have been better? Yes, you can always have a better window. But we had to me, our window was 8 out of 10. So 8 out of 10 window.
Absolutely. Yep.
Only thing that really could have improved it, a striker, another midfielder, probably takes it to a 10. That's it. That's probably how I'm looking at it. Mr. Miyagi is confident. He says United going to win the league. Mark this comment. We're not, but you know what? We can hope. Hey, you can hope.
Yeah.
I'm looking at trophies.
I like his confidence.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. But look, Mr. Miyagi, we're gonna take it 1 game at a time.
Yeah, man.
That's what
1 game at
a
time. I think we'll win a trophy this season, though. Yeah. I'm looking at that Europa League. That Europa League is looking like it's got our name on it. So we'll get back into Europa League in a second. But reports came out again. It was on someone shared it in one of the group chats I was in, and it was reports were saying that Chelsea will go in for Cristiano Ronaldo again in January, and that was a major fallout between Todd and Tommy. In regards to why he lost his job because he wanted Ronaldo at Chelsea. My thoughts and stance is still the same. Chelsea want to take Cristiano Ronaldo. Let him go. That's what I would say.
What if Chelsea doesn't qualify for the second round of the Champions League? Because it's looking like it right now. 1 loss, 1 draw. You know, and I told you before, like as good as Harry Potter is, you know, there's so much magic he can work. You know, there's so much magic.
As good as who is? What did you just call him?
Harry Potter.
This guy. Yeah.
You know, there'll be a limit until the day your magic, your spells won't work anymore. Because he's good, but he's not that good to be a Chelsea manager. You know, like there's levels to this. You know, you need to take it in strides. There was one manager that took from a small club and went straight to a big club and ended up getting sacked and cried on his exit interview. That was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You don't want to end up like him. You don't want to go out like him, you know, crying in your farewell interview, you know, where your kids can see you as well. And you're out there doing this, but they're still rolling it on air like they don't even respect you like that. So, yeah, you don't want to end up like that. And honestly, Flores, I see him getting sacked at the end of the season. I said it last week.
Oh, you reckon Graham Potter to get sacked?
He's gonna get sacked. I said it last week, bro. He will get sacked. The job is too big for him. The fact that you ended up that you chose a Thiago Silva over Azpilicueta. Let me vent as a fake Chelsea fan right now. You chose a Thiago Silva over an Azpilicueta over
those two together. Now those two together.
A Fofana, no, over Fofana, a Wesley Fofana, young Fofana, a Kalu. Oh my God, Koulibaly, bro. Koulibaly, yeah. Kalidou Koulibaly. Someone that's a world-class defender, you know. And you chose that. And people are already questioning you, like, how are you gonna do that? Like, you already got people questioning you already after one game. And it ended up in a draw. You know, yeah. So yeah, I'm already.
Oh yeah, it was great, man. I enjoyed that watch a lot, man. That Salzburg dagger at the end, that was beautiful scenes, man. Beautiful.
And I'm already questioning that, and of course, you had to come out your own comfort zone. You're no longer wearing the Harry Potter tracksuit. You're wearing the Harry Potter suit. You know, it's a different environment now. You're already being taken out your comfort zone and doing things that you normally don't do, but like wearing a suit at a football match. That just shows me it's too much for him. You know.
I hear that. I wonder if it is, but yeah, like I said, if they want to come back in for Cristiano Ronaldo, they may or may not get out of their group. I actually think, all jokes aside, they will get out of their group. They want him, take him. Take him, because then that forces our hand even more in the January transfer window to go and get a striker. Because we need one. I said this all during the summer, and I'm saying this now. Whether Ronaldo stays or goes in January, we need a striker. Whether he stays or goes next summer, we need a striker. We are short in that department, people. We are short in quality. We are also short in quantity in that area. Go and sign a striker. We actually need two, to be honest. Because Martial's been injured the whole time. Rashford ain't a striker, even though he can do a job up there. And Ronaldo's not it. We're light up there, people. We are extremely light in the striking department. So that's what we need to go and do. But yeah, if Chelsea want him, I'm with it. I'm with it. Like or anybody else. Like it's cool. It's time. It's time, and it's time. Kind of, it says they may be saying no money available to try and avoid getting bent over next window. Other clubs see us coming from a mile away and damn near double the price. That's a very valid point, kind of. That's an extremely valid point. I didn't look at it like that. I didn't. Yeah. James says Ronaldo stacks on all-time low. Buy that. No, I'm not buying in. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'll save my money. I'm good. I wish someone would buy into another team would buy into them stocks and take him. That's what I would like. Even though off the bench, give him his plaudits. He's done well. I just don't want to see him start anymore. But off the bench, he can do a job. You guys, are you laughing? I'm being deadly. The best we've seen of him this season is off the bench. Arsenal, Leicester. I think they're the two games he's come off the bench in. I think. Don't quote me on that. That's the best we've seen of him.
I haven't seen the best of Ronaldo this season, in my opinion, bro.
Nah, off the bench, man. He did well against Arsenal. He was involved in the goal.
Off the bench, bro. Like I told you, like I've never thought today it'll come the day I start laughing at Ronaldo playing football, you know, laughing at the first touches, laughing at the reckless shots out of anywhere, the attempts, overhead kicks attempts that he's been trying to do. Like I never thought I'll start laughing, but hey, hopefully he gets his act together and starts banging for Manchester United, because I still have hopes that Ronaldo's got something to add to Manchester United's team, you know, whether it's off the bench or starting. I still believe that this guy will bang goals for us, because the football will be set in a way to create a lot of chances for the striker. I hope so.
Yeah, man. You know? And while you lot are still locked in, get your questions in on Manchester United this season. Also, as well, hit that like button on the video, whether you're watching this live or watching this back. Big up to everyone who's listening back on the audio platforms as well. Salute to you lot as always. And we spoke obviously on the Europa League, because I've mentioned it, on how I want Manchester United to target the competition. And actually, before we even get into that, if he starts bagging and we start winning, what you're going to say, Flawless, because that day will come, stocks will be I will say, if that happens, I'll say yeah. I'll say yeah. I'll say yeah, I was wrong. That's what I would say. But that's not going to happen. Will he score goals? Yes, we are winning currently without him. But let me just reiterate this and make this clear. He is no longer going to start week in, week out with everybody fit. If everybody's fit, Ronaldo's on the bench. That's the plan. If Martial or Rashford are fit, he's on the, even forget everybody being fit. If Martial or Rashford are fit, he's on the bench. He is our third choice striker. I'm not gonna cry over our third choice striker. He's our third choice. Guarantee you against Manchester City, he ain't gonna start. James, you were convinced he was gonna start against. Who did we play? Who was our last game? Who was the game after Arsenal?
Real Sociedad and Sheriff.
No, in the Premier League. Did we not play in the Premier League?
When he started, was it when we got wiped by Brentford, bro?
No. I'm talking afterwards because James was convinced he was gonna start against somebody. It might have been Arsenal. I can't remember because James went to one of the games.
You're talking about Ronaldo, right?
Yeah.
It possibly may have been against Arsenal, but
yeah, it was against Arsenal, I think. But there was one game, James will jog my memory, where he was convinced Ronaldo was going to start because he was going to the game as well. Ronaldo's not starting. If Rashford and Martial are fit, Ronaldo's holding bench. That's the be all and end all. And if he does start when Rashford's fit, that's because Sancho or Anthony are injured and Rashford's being used elsewhere. He's done out. You know what I'm saying? If he starts performing, he won't be third choice anymore. Yeah, if on merit, yeah, he'll pump up, but I don't see him getting a chance. He's third choice. So Martial has to stay injured, and if he gets fit, doesn't perform. Rashford has to get injured or not perform for him to get his chance. He's done out, man. He's done out. That's it, man. Show's over. He's now our Europa League striker. And he won't even be that once Martial's back. Because once Martial's back, Martial will probably start ahead of him, to be honest, to get minutes against Omonia and that. He might come off the bench against Omonia. Depends on Elanga and who else plays. Actually, Martial might play out wide, and then Ronaldo plays through the middle, and maybe Elanga over the other side. That could be the front three. That could definitely be the front three. But hey, I hope Ronaldo starts bagging, James. I hope you're right. But back to Europa League anyway, because obviously like I've mentioned there, we play Omonia twice, then we play Sheriff, then we play Sociedad. If we finish second of the group, we have to play around the 32 game. I believe it's against one of the teams that drop out.
Wait. Is this new to me? Is this something that you just added on?
I don't follow the Europa League, but is what it is. But yeah, if we finish first, we skipped around the 32. If we finish second, we don't, and could play one of the dropouts from the Champions League. So I'm looking here at groups. So this is Champions League group. So we're looking at potentially who could drop out. So Group A obviously is Napoli, Liverpool, Ajax, Rangers. So you probably expect Liverpool to get out of the group. Napoli or Ajax, we could play, depending on who that is. We've seen what Napoli did to Liverpool. We know about Ajax. But who better to play Ajax than Ten Hag? So that is a potentially tough fixture. Group B, no one cares about with Bruges, Leverkusen, Madrid, Porto. Yeah, whatever. Run it back with Madrid, Atletico Madrid. We owe them, actually. Group C is Bayern, Barca, Inter, and Victoria. I'd say Inter drop out. So that could be a tough game. I'd say Inter drop out. I'll say Barcelona do.
Inter potentially could drop out. You know, they've done it before last season. So we shall see it. I see Barcelona going through, man. Come on.
So you reckon it'd be Bayern and Barca go through?
Bayern and Barca go through, man. Inter going finishing third.
Okay, so we could play Inter. Then you got the Spurs group with Spurs, Sporting, Frankfurt, and Marseille. I think Spurs will get through, but we could, if Spurs were to drop down, or Sporting or Frankfurt to drop down. Like Frankfurt obviously won the competition last year.
Yeah.
So you're looking at it. Group E, which is Milan, Zagreb, Salzburg, Chelsea. So you do have a potential of a Chelsea dropping down. At Salzburg or Zagreb, I would expect Milan to get through, even though I think all jokes aside, Chelsea will get through. But it's potential to face an English side if we were to finish second and it was to drop down. Real Madrid's group, you got Real Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk, Celtic, Leipzig. So you got Shakhtar currently on 4 points in that group. You know what I'm saying? Shakhtar are currently sat on 4 points in that group. So here's a Shakhtar potentially against Celtic or Leipzig, you know what I'm saying, to get through. And then City's group, you got Dortmund, City, of course, Copenhagen and Sevilla. So you got Dortmund who could drop out, Sevilla who could drop out. Neither of those easy games. And here's the interesting one, the PSG group. Yeah, go on, fam.
No. Who's in the PSG group?
PSG group, you got PSG, Benfica, Juventus, and Maccabi Haifa. But what I was going to say is currently as it stands, Juventus have lost 2 from 2. So PSG are on 6 points, Benfica are on 6 points. Both teams got 2 wins from 2. And Juventus have lost their 2 opening games as Maccabi Haifa. So we could potentially take on Juventus. And depending on if he's fit, it could be a return for Paul Pogba. I don't know when he's fit. Imagine that.
Right, he won't be fit anymore, bro. He won't be fit.
You gotta think now. These games, if we were to play these in the round of 32, it's probably February.
Yeah, definitely, because the last 16 won't take place until what? Late February?
Probably. Let me check.
March.
I'll have a look now. 1 second. Let me have a look at the Europa League schedule.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? Because the Europa League start, like, let's say the last 32, it's a week or 2 weeks before the Champions League second round starts, which is the last 16. So, yeah, we'll start a bit earlier than the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm having a look right now as we
February.
speak. Literally just Google this right now to have a look. So, you've got... Yeah, knockout round playoffs. So that's round of will be the 16th and the 23rd of February. Then around the 16th is the 9th and 16th of March. The quarterfinals is the 13th and 20th of April. The semifinals is the 11th and 18th of May. And then the final is the 31st of May. Okay. What's up, Ivorian? You don't look impressed.
No. It's cool, isn't it? Like, it is what it is. 31st of May, you said.
Yeah, 31st of May is the final.
Europa League
final.
So you got a Champions League final, what, in June?
I'll check now.
No, that's what it looks like, because obviously it is the Europa League final before the Champions League final.
Yeah. I would presume so. I'll tell you now. All right, so this is me looking at the Champions League schedule right now. So, let you know now. Champions League schedule. The final is... Just waiting for this to load up. Where we at? What do you mean fixtures not available yet? But you have.
It's all right. It's okay.
There we go. This thing taking its sweet time. Talking about fixtures not what you have there. Here we go. 2023 final. Taking its sweet time. Yep, 10th of June, fam. 10th of June in Istanbul.
Thought so. Istanbul.
Yes, it's in the 10th. Yeah, it's in the 10th of June.
For those Liverpool fans,
I didn't know the 2024 final was at Wembley. We need to be
really?
in that. Yeah, the 2024 final was in Wembley. Yeah. We need to be in that. Let's do it.
I'm more like looking to try and attend that final now.
Hey, it depends who's in it though. If it's all English thing,
hopefully I can get into the draw and just watch the final, man.
So you really want to go see a Liverpool City Champions League final? Yeah.
In life, how often do you get to watch a World Cup final? How often do you get to watch a Champions League final?
I hear that. I hear that.
It's in the bucket list, regardless of who's playing.
All right, fair enough. I can't do it, man. I couldn't watch a Liverpool City final.
Hey, listen, it'll be sweet when they lose. Wherever Liverpool lose or Man City lose, and you're there to witness that, it's sweet.
I can't.
It just hurt when they win.
Yeah, I couldn't be there in the ground when that happens, innit? Like, not me. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. Nah. I'm saying I'd end up getting beat up because I'd start booing. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, whatever end I was in, start booing.
Nah, but it's just part of the bucket list. Like, I want
man. Let's put the energy out there. We gonna be in the final next year. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be in the final next year. Do I believe that? Absolutely not. But we're just putting that energy out there, people.
Listen, you gotta speak into existence. You know, if you want to believe into it.
Speak into your thoughts become things. Manchester United 2024 Champions League winners. I'm saying in London, in Wembley, at Wembley, 100%.
Home soil, bruv.
Yeah, man, that's ours. If that happens, we run London. You know what I'm saying?
You get me?
Like
this time we can cut the net off Wembley and take it home like the way Barcelona did it with us. That kind of hurts still.
We run the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. But yeah, 10th of June that is, and obviously the 31st of May is the Europa League one. But yeah, when you look at, obviously we went through the Europa League teams. Is there anyone that you like? If we don't win the group, you fair, you go, I don't really want to face them.
Any team, like for example, if we was to finish second, I want us to go to the finals. I want the draw to be as fair as possible, as easy as possible for us. You know, I don't really want us to draw any difficult teams. So I don't want to be seeing someone like Inter that can cause us a problem. The holders Frankfurt could cause us a problem because that's Manchester United for you. Whenever they play a team that's for the Europa League, made for the Europa League, we do struggle and get knocked out. So we rather play a team that's just has no interest in being the Europa League. But I did mention Inter, but they need to win trophies as well. Marseille would be a good opposition to play against.
Yeah, Marseille is a shout. Yeah,
but I wouldn't want to draw against a top team like maybe Napoli. They'll
Yeah,
cause us
Napoli,
trouble.
yeah. You ain't trying to really see Napoli. We could face Ajax.
Let's try and avoid Ajax for now.
That's gonna happen. They finish third and we finish second. We're gonna draw Ajax. Guaranteed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens because then it's to me it's fixed in it. They just want to see Ten Hag versus his old team, Martinez versus his old team, Anthony versus his old team. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
but doesn't mean that I don't have the
happen.
confidence that we won't be able to knock them out because we will be able to knock them out. It is what it is. But it's just that we want a bit easy so we can go into the last 16.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's where I'm at, to the point where obviously finishing top of the group, and I think we will. When I look at Sheriff, I can see them taking points off Sociedad in one of those 2 games. We should beat Omonia twice, so that should be 6 from 6, 110%. And I can see Sheriff taking points off Sociedad, and then obviously we got the return home. We got the home game against Sheriff. I think is match day 5, and then match day 6 is away in Sociedad, which could be a winner takes all for the group. Because I know Sociedad scored a late winner against Omonia in the second game. He scored a late winner, but I'm not concerned. Obviously, in an ideal world, you want to finish top to avoid playing any of those
honestly
teams.
Speaking, we will finish top.
I think so too.
Will be Real Sociedad away, but if we can get that W, we'll finish top.
Yeah, 100%. We just got to win all the games from now, and I'm expecting to do so. Martial will be back fit. Donny will be back fit, so they can help us. Without doubt, they can help us. 110%. Big up Murtaza in the cut as well. Says big up. How we doing, guys? Hope you well. Hope you're blessed, Murtaza. Murtaza is a member of the channel, people. If you want to join the membership, the link is in the pinned comment. Many great perks, people. Many great perks, including how to get on Q&As on the Twitch, how to get on Q&As on the YouTube, how to jump the queue on the fan calling shows, and there'll be one tonight at midnight. So if you want to jump the queue, that's how you can join the membership. Also, as well, when we do Q&As on the YouTube, your comment question takes priority like a super chat as well. Big up to Emmanuel. Not seeing you in a minute. Hope you're good, Emmanuel. Big up to you. Big up Sid every single time as well. And yeah, Jez is saying the same thing. He's saying about the Europa League. It's always been like that when you drop down. But he's saying we wouldn't be able to play if we drop down in the 32 round. Yeah, you're right. 2 English teams can't get drew together. So say Chelsea or Liverpool or Spurs were to drop down, we couldn't face them in the round of 32, which is a plus.
Potentially, can we play a team that's from Scotland? Obviously, like
Celtic. Yeah, we could face Celtic. Yeah, we could face Celtic or Rangers, but I ain't worried about either of them. Celtic or Rangers, I'm good. You know what? Going to that game would probably be lit. I'd try to get there.
Going to that stadium.
I would try to get
Hampden. What's it? Celtic Park.
Celtic Park, and then you've got the Ibrox. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say Hampden Park, but that's where the Scott. But I'd legit try to get to one of the games, like 110%. Celtic might finish third. I don't think Rangers will. I don't think Rangers finish because Rangers are in Liverpool's group, and they got Ajax and Napoli in there, and they've already lost 2 from 2. I think Celtic have lost 2 from 2 as well. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. They lost 2 from 2. They lost.
No. They drew one. No, they drew. Yeah, they drew. Yeah, they drew. They drew against Shakhtar. I think it was 1-1. Let me double check that. I think they drew. Yeah, they drew away in Ukraine. That's a good result for them. So there you go. If they play Leipzig back to back, if they can get some positive results against Leipzig, and then they play Shakhtar in game 5 and then Madrid. If Madrid, they'll probably lose to Madrid, but maybe. I'd like to see them finish third. I'd like that. I'm saying a trip up to Glasgow. Why not? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Celtic Park is not for ManDem dread. Why? What's going on in Scotland? What's happening at Glasgow? What did I miss?
You hear what? Hey, we don't have to spin, but I think Black Diamond knows what he's talking about.
What's he talking about? Nah, shout out to Fink. He lives up there. What's his face? Be there all the time. Shout out
Bob's,
to Bobby,
bro.
man. Yeah, man.
Hey,
Bobby,
he lives there, but doesn't mean it's easy. Listen, he lives there. I said doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean the whole area is nice.
But that's it. You know, that could be anywhere. You with United fans, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying in that. You're with United fans, like you should be okay. I'm saying you should be all right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about this whole Celtic. Right. Yeah, I'd never heard of Celtic Park being like that. I'm saying I think Spain's more dangerous.
Yeah, yes. Spain just throw a banana at you, bro. You legit just throw a banana at you. They even tell you Vinicius Junior, you're not allowed to dance, fam.
Yeah, see, that's different. Well, yeah, to my knowledge, I've never been Scotland before. So I don't know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? But I know people that live up them parts. Like shout out Saint. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Saints from them parts too.
That's what
I'm saying. Are they different? Are you sure, Black Diamond? This is news to me. You know what I'm saying? New every day. Yeah. Italian, Italy or Spain's different. But then I know man who've been on away trips to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, really, it's really Scotland's like that? Or are we just saying just Glasgow? I know people in Edinburgh as well. I don't know. I'm just asking, innit? You learn something new every day. I'm saying this is news to me. I still pull up. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd still like 100% it's down the road. If I got a ticket, if I was lucky enough to get a ticket, I'm pulling up.
I'm going to Scotland regardless, man. I think it should be all right, you know.
Scotland, like Wales. I've been Ireland before. I've been Wales before. I just throw Scotland in that bracket. It's what it is, isn't it? If racismo in a big way, racismo, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But hopefully, now I'm hoping Zalika Rangers actually make it into Europa League. I want a trip up there now. Trip up there. Shame there's no Welsh or Irish teams in the champs. We could have done with going into the Conference League. We may have drew a Welsh team or Irish team just to go pull up.
You want to draw up a Shamrock Rovers, yeah?
Yeah, a Shamrock Rovers thing. You know what I'm saying? A Welsh pool, a TNS. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. All right, let's go. Taking it back to when I used to play FM, you know what I'm saying, and be Welsh. Sid says, come to India international break. Yo, if India was round the corner, Sid, I would. You know what I'm saying in that? India was round the corner 100%. Let you lot hold the World Cup. I'll be there. You know what I'm saying in that? Let India hold the World Cup.
Yeah,
I'll pull up.
India needs that World Cup, you know?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If India hold the World Cup, I'm there. That's why I'm trying to get to the World Cup in stateside. That one in 2026, I'm there. Because it's America, Mexico, Canada. I'm there.
Yeah.
Yo. I'm there.
That's the next World Cup.
Yeah, the next World
USA.
Cup. I already spoke to, you know what I'm saying, Peter and Eddie and that, and my American Duns. I'm over there.
Yeah.
We go to Mexico as well. I'm trying to go Canada. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Trying to go. 100%. But yeah, Sid, man, you know what I'm saying? Let India hold the World Cup. I'll be there. India banned from football for what? Why are they banned from football? What did they do?
Oh.
I said food is fantastic. I'm sure it is, Sid. Indian food slaps. No doubt. No doubt. What did India do? Don't they play in the Asia Cup?
I swear they do. But anyway, Sid, Indian food, of course, is another it's a cuisine for here. It's British as well. The British people tell you what's British food. They'll tell you pizza, Indian, Chinese. That's exactly what they tell you, bruv. That's British food for them. It's true. It's true.
Saying ban got lifted. What did you? All right. So before, I know this is ManDem United, but this is Sarcasm City people. So we go off topics from that. What did they get banned for? What happened in India? Like, what did the Indian Federation do to get banned from football? Like, that's wild. Because this is news to me. It's not like there was a war or something happened and like they got banned or something like that. Like the whole thing with Russia and what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Now, I just need a short breakdown, Black Diamond, in it. Just like short. Like, was it political? Did a player do something? Like, that's all it is. Because Sid's saying, because obviously Sid's over there. Like, that's his sides. Oh, third-party associations interfering. That's why. Okay. All right. Some outside stuff. All right, fair enough then. But yeah, we're going to close out the show anyway, people. We're going to close out the show. ManDem United podcast will be back. Myself and Eddie Friday. So the Thursday shows, we've now moved to Friday. But this show on Tuesday, you'll still get our half fives. However, when there's European football on, we'll probably move it. So me and Ivorian will talk and try to sort it out. Because, there's so much football going on. It's hard to fit in content, people. Obviously, during the World Cup, we'll take a hiatus with the show. But then straight after the World Cup, we'll be back because there's going to be so much. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying, World Cup crazy, people. It's going to be World Cup crazy. And we're going to bring you every game. I'm sure Ivorian will bring you games as well on Red United TV. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel as well. The link's in the title, Red United TV. Make sure you subscribe. Ivorian, anything you want to add before we close out?
Of course, guys, as always, remember to subscribe, smash that like button as well. We want at least, because let's just see where we are right now. We're on 29 likes. So if you guys are watching on a playback, smash that like button so we can get at least 50. And of course, if you happen to want to watch some more podcasts with Manchester United related, go on to Red United TV and watch yesterday's podcast as well. You'll enjoy it. Smash the like button as well and post your comments. And as always, follow Red United TVs on IG. And if you want to follow me personally, Ivorian_Spice. That's on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Yeah, man. Big up to everyone who has locked in. And we're back. I'm on Shameless FC at 10. So on Shameless FC, 50 minutes, I'll be on Lewis's channel. So myself and Cam will move the Arsenal Manchester United show to another day. I'm going to ring him after this and we'll pattern that. But fan calling show, people. Fan calling show, midnight. Fan calling show on the Twitch, people. It's on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Links underneath in the description for that. Anybody can call in, people. Talk about whatever you want sporting wise. I'll be there. The rest of the regular panelists will probably be there, and you lot run the show as well. But love to everyone who's locked in as well. And this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.